The Unlocked podcast host was reportedly seeing Robert Shiver, whose wife allegedly hired hitmen to try and kill him, according to People, who verified this in September. Savannah Chrisley only wants to rely on her mother Julie Chrisley for guidance when times are hard. However, these conversations appear rather different now that the matriarch of the Chrisley family is incarcerated. The 26-year-old former star of Chrisley Knows Best talked candidly about the difficulties she faces in communicating with her parents because of their current legal situation in the most recent edition of her podcast, Unlocked. Traveling there is difficult. That is particularly difficult for me because, initially, I had a great time when I went to see. On Tuesday's show, she said, "It was great because I got to see them, hug them, and love on them. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy seeing my parents and coming to visit them, but it gets tougher to see them the longer they stay because I know that I'm leaving them behind, and that's the difficult aspect." Savannah mentioned that there have been times when it has been more difficult to communicate with Julie, specifically mentioning a situation in which she needed relationship guidance regarding her new partner, Robert Shiver. "I literally had just a full-on sob moment by myself for a few minutes because there was something that had happened, and all I wanted was to call my mom," she said. "I just wanted to give my mom a call, chat with her, and ask for advice. That's the desired action. You only want your mother's advice when you're in a relationship. I look at my life now and I'm like, when my mom met my dad had 2 kids," Savannah went on. "I feel as though I'm somehow living through her life again because, well, my boyfriend is a parent, and there are situations in which I could really use my mother's guidance. All I want is to talk to her, let her vent, understand how she handled things, get advice, and discover how to present herself more effectively. And I began crying right away. I wanted to call my mother right now, but I was unable to do so. I'm not allowed to call her," she continued. "The longer they are in jail, the more I'm reminded of what I lack. I just have to answer when she calls, and I believe that's the difficult part at the moment. Additionally, you are informed of how unresponsive our system is and how patience is required. Someone else is in charge of your life." Savannah claimed that despite the tough and sad circumstances her family is in, she is finding the little wins in it. "There are a lot of amazing kids in my life, which will make me gray hair sooner than I should. I'm in a terrific relationship with my partner and my friends," she said in closing. "Some of my pals behave like family. My victory is that I have wonderful people in my life who support me. I'm seeing the bright side of it then." In January of this year, Julie, 50, reported to the Federal Medical Center Lexington in Kentucky. She received a term of about 2 months ago for fraud, along with her husband Todd Chrisley, who is currently incarcerated in federal prison camp Pensacola in Florida. Since then, their sentences have been shortened. The long-term couple, who was married in 1996, started their legal appeal in December. Savannah disclosed a month ago that its oral arguments were accepted by the appeals court. She said on Instagram, "We get to go and argue why mom and dad should be at home. Therefore, God is good. Thanksgiving triumph." In Tuesday's podcast, Savannah provided an update on the appeal, saying, "Winning this little step on the appeal is such a great feeling, such a great win. I don't want to get my hopes up too much though, because I think right now, I'm just in a place of like, all right, this is good, but I still don't want to be let down, and I don't want to get my hopes up to then have to grieve the loss later," she said. "Well, all I can do is hope and pray for the best, and that will come on the week of March 25. So fingers crossed, mom and dad will be able to return home in April or May, possibly during the summer of next year."